What's up guys, it's Kyle here at Laser Everything, and today we're going to be engraving a buffalo leather journal, or so it says on the listing. If you're interested in for sciencing and learning with me today, hang in there because we're getting started right now. Let's first talk about the laser I'm going to be doing this with. This is on a 60 watt CO2 RF tube Galvo. It's here behind me, and this particular machine was provided by Hayocean so we could do a review. Thank you to them for sending it over. So we're here in LightBurn, and today we're focusing on this journal. Now this journal, as well as the design that the person wants engraved on it, was all provided to me. So I don't really have a whole lot to say about the design work other than I sized it and fitted it for the piece here with the requests in mind for the design. Now that said, let's dig into the settings because that's kind of the meat and potatoes of this episode. So in this case, with the machine specs in mind, we're going at 2000 speed, 25 frequency, 22 power with a 0.1 line interval, and it's one pass with a crosshatch or without. Now, functionally, the crosshatch just acts as a second pass at an alternating angle. It's not required, at least for this material. And the reason why I'm going with these settings is this journal is kind of almost furry. I don't want to go with too tight of a line interval because if you tighten it up and you have a lot of overlapping lines, it's going to overburn and you're going to end up burning through the material instead of marking across it. So you want to be careful with that. If it's something that seems like it's going to ablate very easily, it's a very soft leather, it's furry, that could be a factor you need to concern yourself with. So in this case, crosshatch is optional. Throughout these marks, I alternated between using a single pass with no crosshatch. Eventually, I got a little more comfortable with this particular material, so I was able to move up to using a crosshatch, or I just ran a second pass. But either way, it functionally does the same thing, and that's what works for this leather for me. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with that. And another thing in the design aspect, we'll talk about while we're going through it, but this is kind of like a multi-layer design. So this is a journal that folds open both ways, as well as has a back surface, and essentially everything is getting a mark on it. So let's just dig in. While I'm getting this set up, we're just going to talk about the machine. We want to make sure that everything is level and flat and in focus. Additionally, I'm using a 110 lens here, so that is going to be a factor if you're following along at home or in your shop. A 110 lens with the machine specs that I mentioned before is going to be what you want to factor in. If you're using a bigger or a smaller lens, you're going to have to adjust for that in your settings. But that said, I'm using a piece of slate to kind of weigh down the flap so it's nice and flat. Make sure everything's in focus, and we're going to mark it. You're also going to see that I'm using my flashlight on my phone just to check the mark over and make sure I'm happy with it. And the reason why I'm doing that is if you pick it up out of excitement off the laser bed, it's no longer in alignment, and then you either have to risk aligning it again if you're unhappy with the mark, or you just have to be stuck with it. I didn't want to risk ruining this, so I went ahead and double checked it over and was happy with it. And so now we're moving to the inside flap, and you're going to notice a trend here. It's all the same tips. We want to make sure that the surface we're engraving is flat on a horizontal plane with the lens and the work area. We want to make sure that whatever we're marking is secure, not going to move around. We want to hold anything that might flip or flap over the surface we're engraving out of the way. So you'll see I utilize my slate here again. Remember, anything in your shop can be a tool, even if it didn't specifically have a purpose before. And we're going to go ahead and make sure everything is in focus. And we're going to go ahead and mark it. Now, I'm not going to share the text in this only because that was requested to be kept private, but in any event, you'll just have to trust me that it came out nice. So again, on the inside flap, there is another element, and because this is larger, we're engraving across a bigger surface, do need to utilize some more slate to kind of balance this out, and another piece to hold it down like we did before. And getting this aligned is a little more tricky than the last one because the binding is a little taller than the opening side here. So we're going to get that aligned. And we want this to kind of line up nicely so it's centered in relation to the front flap as well, because this is kind of a multi-layer thing. Again, we want to make sure that following the trend, everything is in focus it is properly in place, and it is level. We're going to go ahead and mark that, and you'll see that I went ahead and used a crosshatch. And I'm using my phone to double check the mark before it's moved. And again, this is something I encourage anyone do. Better off safe than sorry when you're working on something that's kind of a one-off. Check it before you move it. We're now moving on to our final mark here. This is on the back cover and got everything, again, same trend, aligned, focused, flat, and we're going to go ahead and give it a good mark. Now I am going to, again, use a crosshatch, getting a little more comfortable with this material, and I'm just going to let it finish out. Checking it with my phone to validate there aren't any weird spots or anything that need to be adjusted, and we're good to go. And that is project complete, everybody. If you enjoyed or you want to follow along at home, please feel free to check out the links in the description where you'll find all the materials and everything we used. Some of those links may be affiliate links, and those would go toward helping support our team and all the projects and content that we do here at Laser Everything. And lastly, there's also links to our Discord, Facebook, and Laser Master Academies in the description below as well. If you have any questions, or if you're just looking to speak with like-minded individuals about lasers and projects, those are the best places to be. And the Laser Master Academy also goes towards supporting what we do here at Laser Everything with our content and supporting the community. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one.